Hello, thanks for joining me for consideration of the February 7th Gospel, which is a continuation of chapter 1 of Mark, verses 29 to 39. And in this second to last Sunday of ordinary time before Ash Wednesday and Lent, we continue to get an account of Jesus' early ministry days. You know, something that we as Catholic Christian people need to wrestle with is the humanity/divinity of Jesus. We know from our faith that Jesus was fully human and fully divine, though we may have a tendency to focus on one side of him more than the other. And so these Gospels that we're reading this Sunday and then next are examples of where we get to encounter, yes, the all-powerful divine Jesus, but also a sense of his humanity, who he was and how he lived. Let's take a look at this gospel. After leaving the synagogue where he had been preaching the good news and revealing a bit of his identity, and Andrew and Peter and James and John have already come to follow Jesus. I can only imagine that Jesus was probably tired and ready to kick back and rest a little bit. So he goes to the home of Peter and Andrew, along with James and John, where they spend some of that Sabbath day together in the house. Now, Peter is married and his mother-in-law has a fever. And so we can imagine Jesus being touched with compassion and love for this woman who he's in the household of, and he reaches out to her, grasps her hand, and heals her immediately. And then she goes about waiting on them. So again, the idea that Jesus had this heart full of compassion, and then afterwards allowed her to wait on him, probably with food and drink. Just wonderful little human insights into the life of Jesus. And then after sunset, the people of the town of Capernaum start bringing their ill and those who are possessed or in some way bothered by demons. So the whole town, it says, was gathered at the door, and he cured many of the sick and drove out many demons. So he had a very busy day, first in the synagogue and then at nightfall, healing those who were in need of healing. Then it says, rising very early, before dawn, he left and went off to a deserted place where he prayed. This is a part of Jesus that we experience at different points in the Gospels, where he is fatigued, perhaps, burdened, stressed by the demands of ministry and what it is requiring of him. So he frequently needs to get away to be with the Father in prayer, away from the demands that are coming his way. Simon and the others, though, pursue him, and they say, everyone is looking for you. And Jesus says, well, let's go on to other villages where I may preach there also. For this purpose I have come. So he went to other towns and other synagogues, preaching and driving out demons throughout the whole of Galilee. And thus ends this wonderful, simple story of a couple days in the life of Jesus. What does it reveal for us? Well, the humanity of Jesus, the power of Jesus to heal and cast out demons, which is a major part of the manifestation of his identity as God's Son, as divine, and to help people listen to the good news, knowing that he's proclaiming it with authority. So we see his humanity in this, we see his divinity, and we recognize his model as one who needs to take time away in quiet, in deserted places. And it is hard for us in modern life to do that. But this is not necessarily just about going off on a retreat for a day or two or three. This is finding time each day, perhaps multiple times, where we can just take it down a notch and change our heart, our mind, and open our spirit to God in a very intentional way. This is the model of Jesus for us, and we should follow it.